Here's something that breaks most TypeScript developers' brains. A type can reference itself. Not a class, a type. You can describe an infinitely deep tree, a fully type-safe JSON value, or a nested config object, all in a few lines that loop back on themselves. The compiler resolves them lazily, which means recursion that would crash any normal program just works. But push too far and you hit a wall that says instantiation excessively deep and possibly infinite. Today we master both sides, writing recursive types that model real nested data and taming the ones that fight back. A recursive type is simply a type that refers to itself in its own definition. Think of a comment that can have replies. And each reply is also a comment with its own replies. That structure is potentially infinite, but the shape is finite. TypeScript lets us capture exactly that. The key insight is that the type name appears inside its own body, and the compiler is perfectly happy with it. Both interfaces and type aliases support recursion, but they behave differently. Interfaces are always lazily resolved, so they can reference themselves freely. Type aliases can too, but only when the self-reference sits behind an object, array, or other deferred structure. A type alias that references itself directly with no wrapper is a circular error. Keep the self-reference inside a property or an array element, and you're golden. Here's the classic that every TypeScript engineer should know by heart. A fully type-safe JSON value. JSON is recursive by nature. A value is a primitive, an array of values, or an object whose values are themselves JSON values. We express that as a union, and the recursion lives inside the array and the record. Now, any data passed from JSON.parse can be safely narrowed against this exact shape. You might wonder why this doesn't loop forever during compilation. The answer is lazy evaluation. The compiler doesn't expand a recursive type fully when it's declared. It expands one level at a time, only as far as it needs to check a given value. So JSON value isn't an infinitely large type sitting in memory. It's a rule the checker unfolds on demand. This is exactly why recursive types are practical and not just a theoretical trick. Real trees often mix node kinds. Imagine an abstract syntax tree with literals, binary operations, and unary operations. We model each kind as a variant with a discriminant tag, and the operation nodes recursively contain child expressions. This pattern, recursion plus discriminated unions, is how you'd build a calculator, a query parser, or a rules engine in fully typed TypeScript. The tag lets you switch exhaustively over every node type. A recursive type pairs beautifully with a recursive function. Here, we evaluate the expression tree. The switch narrows each node by its kind, and for binary and unary nodes, we call evaluate on the children. Notice how TypeScript's exhaustiveness checking kicks in. If we forget a case, the never assignment at the bottom flags it. The type structure and the function structure mirror each other perfectly. Now we move into type level recursion. Types that compute over other types. Deep read only makes every property read only, all the way down. The trick is the recursive call. When a property is itself an object, we apply deep read only to it again. Built-in read only goes one level deep. Ours descends through the entire structure. This is the foundation for immutable state types in libraries like Redux Toolkit and beyond. The mirror image is deep partial. Every property optional recursively. This is gold for configuration merging, where a user supplies only the fields they want to override. We check if the property is an object, and if so, recurse. Otherwise, we leave the type alone. Watch out though. naively applied to arrays or special objects like date, deep, partial, can produce surprising results. So guard those cases when you ship it. TypeScript can recurse over tuples too, and this unlocks genuinely powerful type-level programming. Using a head-tail pattern, we destructure the first element and recurse on the rest. Here's a reverse type that flips a tuple. The base case is the empty tuple, and each step peels off the head and appends it after the reversed tail. This same pattern powers length calculations, joins, and counters. Recursive types also work on string literals through template literal types. This join type takes a tuple of strings and a separator, then walks the tuple combining them. Notice the recursion stops cleanly on the empty and single element cases. This is exactly how libraries derive type-safe root paths or build dotted key strings for nested objects. All checked at compile time, zero runtime cost. Let's combine everything into something you'll actually ship. A type that produces every valid dotted path through a nested object. We recurse through each key. And when a value is itself an object, we prepend the current key and dive deeper. The result is a union of strings like user.dress.city. This is the magic behind type-safe form libraries and I18N key checkers, where a typo in a path becomes a compile error. A path string is only half the story. We also want the type of the value at that path. Path value splits the dotted string into head and tail, indexes into the object by the head, then recurses on the tail. When there's no dot left, we index directly. Now you can build a get function whose return type is exactly correct for any deep key. This is type-level navigation at its finest. Tying it together, here's a get helper that's completely type-safe. The path argument is constrained to valid paths, and the return type is resolved through path value. Try passing an invalid key and TypeScript stops you cold. At runtime, it just splits and reduces, but the compile time guarantees are what make this so powerful. This single function eliminates a whole class of cannot read property of undefined bugs. Now the dark side. Push recursion too deep, and the compiler throws type instantiation is excessively deep and possibly infinite. Historically, TypeScript capped at around 40 to 50 levels of nesting. This isn't a bug, it's a guardrail to stop the checker from looping forever. The moment you build naive recursive types over long tuples or deep strings, you'll meet this error. Let's see it happen. The fix is tail recursion with an accumulator. Since TypeScript 4.5, the compiler optimizes tail recursive conditional types, dramatically raising the depth ceiling into the thousands. Instead of nesting the recursive call inside another type operation, we carry the result forward in an accumulator parameter and recurse in tail position. Here's build tuple rewritten to accumulate, which now handles large sizes without exploding. Structure your recursion this way, and most limit errors vanish. Sometimes you want recursion to stop at a fixed depth. To keep autocomplete fast, or to avoid runaway types over huge objects. The classic technique is a tuple counter used as a depth budget. Each recursive call shifts one element of the budget tuple, and when it's empty, recursion halts. Here's DeepReadonly with a depth cap of 5. This trades completeness for performance, which is often the right call in big code bases. Here's a powerful real-world recursive type, flattening a nested object into a single level of dotted keys mapped to their value types. We reuse the path idea from earlier but build a record. This is exactly what you'd use to type an environment loader or a feature flag map. Notice how flatten combines paths and path value conceptually. Recursive types compose just like functions do. Recursive types describe shapes, but they vanish at runtime. To actually validate incoming JSON, pair your recursive type with a recursive type guard. Here is JSON value walks the value and confirms it matches the JSON value shape, narrowing the type along the way. The function recursion and the type recursion go hand in hand again. For production, libraries like Zod generate these guards for you. But understanding the manual version makes you a far better TypeScript engineer. Before we wrap, the rules that keep you sane. 1. Always put the self-reference behind an object, array, or tuple, never bear. 2. Prefer tail-recursive accumulators for anything deep. 3. Add an explicit depth limit for editor performance in large projects. 4. Guard special objects like date and map in your deep utilities. And 5. When type-level recursion gets painful, reach for a runtime validator like Zod or Valibot and infer the type from it. Use recursion where it shines, not everywhere. Let's see the full toolkit in one file: a recursive JSON type, a type-safe get function, and a depth-limited deep utility, all working in harmony. This is the kind of type infrastructure that makes a large codebase genuinely safe to refactor. Master these patterns and you'll write types that catch bugs before they ever run. Paste this into the TypeScript playground and experiment. That's where the learning really sticks. So today you learned 3 big things. First, recursive types model anything that nests inside itself. JSON, trees, linked lists, paths, because the compiler resolves them lazily, one level at a time. Second, type-level recursion lets you compute over types with conditional and template literal recursion, powering tools like DeepReadonly, dotted path keys, and a fully type-safe get function. And third, when you hit the excessively deep wall, tail-recursive accumulators and explicit depth limits bring it back under control. Next up in the TypeScript track, we go even deeper into type-level programming with branded types and the satisfies operator. Don't miss it. Subscribe so it lands in your feed, and drop a comment with the most brutal recursive type you've ever written. See you in the next one.